Fans, thank you once again for coming through. Much appreciated. Remember, hit the subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel. All right, let's talk Dereck Chisora for a second. I can't lie to you, I'm a bit fond of Dereck Chisora. For a number of reasons. I'll be honest with you, for a number of reasons. Remember when I started out on this boxing journey with Box Talk years ago, and we're trying to get interviews from sort of fighters, and I think Dereck Chisora was in preparation for a fight. I can't remember who it was, and I reached out to him and said, Dereck, do you mind giving me an interview for the channel just to get me some new numbers, because we were very new to this. And we got an interview immediately, and him and his trainer Don Charles invited us down for the sparring. I saw Dereck Chisora sparring Daniel Dubois. I interviewed him, and it was just like, put it this way, a number of boxers, and I'm not going to mention names, but a number of boxers were like, nah. And I wish I could tell you the reasons they said no, but it's going to be pretty controversial. So yeah, long story short, a bit fond of Dereck Chisora, and you've got to admit, he'll fight anyone. And in a days where boxers right now make any excuse to avoid fighters, Dereck Chisora, and probably to the detriment of his career, has fought and will fight anybody. So when David Haye, who's obviously now a promoter as well as a fighter, offers Dereck Chisora 60 grand to fight Joyce, which is a risky fight, Chisora, even though I think Chisora beats him, I think you're taking the piss. I think you have to say David Haye is taking the piss. Look, I fully understand how negotiations work. I've been around a negotiating table, believe it or not. So you got to start low. You can't just go in there and say, look, here's 400 grand. But I think 60 grand for Dereck Chisora. And look, Dereck Chisora brings a lot to the table. A, he's still a name. People might say he's not, but Dereck Chisora is a draw. He does sell tickets. I know that personally. And Dereck Chisora sells a fight. Dereck Chisora, unlike 99% of heavyweights right now, knows how to sell a fight. He will build it up. He'll do stupid stuff. I mean, that Dillian Whyte build up, it was fantastic. Not just the throwing of the chair, but even the little gloves are off thing where he threw water in Dillian Whyte's face. I mean, he built that fight up so well. So you've got a marketing machine there, as far as I'm concerned, with Dereck Chisora, in terms of, well, as far as boxing will let you market a fight, put it that way. To offer him 60 grand to step in the ring with Joyce is taking the piss. And it's taking the piss for a number of reasons. Number one, the taxman takes a chunk of that. Trainer takes a chunk of that. Promoter takes a chunk of that. Manager takes a chunk of that. When all is said and done, Chisora will probably walk away with about max 45 grand. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There is no way on this earth, after coming off a defeat, that I am stepping in a ring with Joyce, 6'5", I don't know how much stone, for 45 grand. Are you taking the piss? I'm Dereck Chisora. I mean, Okoli Chamberlain probably got 100 grand each for that nonsense at the O2 the other day, and Chisora should accept 60 fucking grand to fight Joyce. I think, if I'm Chisora, I'm looking at them both and I'm thinking, you're taking the piss. Yes, Chisora coming off a loss, but Chisora, nonetheless, will still be looking at big fights. I mean, it will still be looking at big fights. And look, yes, he's coming off a loss, but I'd love to see the Dillian Whyte fight again. I wouldn't mind seeing him versus Lucas Brown. I'm not trying to say he should go in there against the killers in the division, but anyone outside the top 15, you fancy Chisora to do quite well. And those fights are still decent money. Joyce, 60 grand, 45 after all the bloody deductions are taken into consideration. No offense, David A., but I think you, my friend, are taking the piss. You're taking the piss. Especially when you know that you're going to get about 6 million for Tony Bellew rematch, and you want to offer me 60 large? Behave.